Hello everyone. So today I'm going to explain about the machine learning part, that is creating a data frame and fetching some data from it and finding the train data and data. Okay, it means there are some data which is available in the data frame that will be trained. That data is given to the model to analyze and learn the pattern of it. Okay, so that is a trained data, and the same data is given for the mod validation to check whether for the more accuracy of the same data. So after training data also there is some error, or there can be some modification required. For that the validation method is used, where the data is checked for rechecked the data for reprocessing it, and then it is validated. Once the validation is done, the same data is given for the test set. Okay, the test set is to find the accuracy of the given data. Okay, it will find the accuracy of the data. So just we'll learn with some simple programs. Okay, the first thing what I have done is I have imported pandas and numpy modules as shortcut of pd and np. Then what I have done, I have taken a variable called df train for taking the train data in the function. Okay, then for that I have taken a csv file. I have taken a csv file called pulse.csv and df.train. So you can just observe here, this is my data which is available in the data frame. One thing you have to keep in mind, that when there is an not a number error is present, then you have to remove it from by using the duplicated method. Means you have to remove that duplicate values by using the duplicated method. Okay, draw, you have to drop it. Okay, now what I have done is I have taken the trained data and a csv file, the same file which is above present above. And what I have done is I have taken only head values, means the top 4 or 5 values I wanted to present, so I have taken only top 5 values. Okay, you can observe here 0 to 4 are my top values which are present in the list. So I just wanted to present them, so I have mentioned it with the head method. Okay, similarly if I want to represent the values in like the last values I want to represent, then in the place of head I have to place tail. Okay, it means it will take my last 5 values of the list. Okay, now we can observe the 5 values. Similarly, I have taken one more data set called as sales.csv. This is one more file which I had created, and that value I have taken as df test. So df test is the another values for performing values in the test format. Okay, so these are the values which are given at the test point. The data will be saved. Okay, for that it is giving some error for me. Now I have to take some variable, sorry, for some columns from the list, that is duration, pulse and max pulse. You can just observe here above table where I have values here. So this is the duration, date, pulse, max pulse and calories. I'm going to take few color columns from the given list. Okay, for this I have taken duration, pulse and max pulse, which is going to give me at the train to value. So I am going to fetch only these values. Okay, similarly for the test 2 values I have taken the data values like day, date, order, quantity. So only those values will be present in the list. Now, what I'm going to do, this is the main concept of the pandas module to perform train data and test data. Okay, so here you can observe I have taken train df2, which variable which I have taken above as a given statement. You can observe here Yes. So trained, this is my df dot train, df test, and similarly here I have taken train 2 and test 2. So these are the four variables for performing different column operations. And then I have fetched a train df2 np because I want to convert the value into the numpy array values. Okay, so the date columns which are present, I want to represent them in the array format. So for that, train 2 dot 2 numpy, so I am going to convert that value in the array format, so I need to assign it to train to df. Similarly, I have taken two variables as x train and y train. These are the x axis and y axis trained models. There I am going to assign some train df to np. So you can observe here, this is the set of values, like array values. How I am going to take is the colon represent all the values which are present in the list. Okay, comma, the second represents the y values of, like, this is the x and y representation of the values. This represents all rows and this represent all columns. And it why it is given in -1, because it is n minus 1, when maximum minus 1, it is always in the practice to take n minus 1 as the maximum value. Similarly, it is trained to values of array, that is x array and y array, that is rows and columns. Those all values I'm going to assign at x train and y train. Okay, then here I want to represent the shape of the values. What does it mean by shape? The shape is going to give me number of rows and columns present in the list of values. Okay, so you can just observe here is, this is x train value and this is the y train value. It is going to show me all the x axis and y axis values. Okay, now what I have done is sklearn linear model. So linear model is my model to which we will be giving the number of variables to perform uh, operations like relational modeling. Okay, so now I have taken from the sklearn linear model, import linear regression. Okay, so linear regression, what does it mean? The regression is nothing but the method which is used to find out the relationship between the different variables. And now the linear regression is similarly used to perform the relationship between the x-axis x variables and y variables. And the linear regression performs the operation in a straight line format, with to find out the future outcome of the given values. Okay, it will predict the future values. Next, I have taken from sklearn matrix import mean absolute error, which is going to find the error in like it will find out the error if it is present. Okay. Now I'm using linear model, linear regression method. I'm going to call dot fit x train and y train. So whatever values I have taken in the above set, that x train and y train, those both values are fit and are going to perform the linear regression operations, and that result I'm going to give a model. Okay, the model is going to perform these operations by fetching the values into it. So this trained model or a linear model is going to find the future data by using the predict method. The predict is a method which is used to fetch the old data to perform future operations. Okay, so now what I have done, I have taken new variable called linear train pred, means it is going to take the predicted data in the future data which is going to be performed, and it will be going to assigned in it. Okay, linear model dot predict of x train. So the whatever data here we have, that is going to be predicted of by and it is going to given to the linear model. So linear dot product of x train, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the mean absolute error of linear train predict and y train. So among this I'm going to find the mean absolute error. Then I'm going to fetch find out the result of linear train predicted result and y train result. So this is the actual final result of data, train data. Similarly, I'm going to perform the testing of test data df2. So this is the second list of values, and I'm going to convert it to set of array values from the given list. X test is comma y test are the two variables which are going to fetch my x and y or row and column values from test df2 and test df2 np. Okay, so these two datas are going to be fetched at x test and y test. Then I am going to find out the shape of the test shape of x and y. So this is how the number of rows and columns I have taken, which is presented in the list. Similarly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to perform the same linear regression for the test as I did linear regression for trained data. I'm going to perform the operation for the test data. Okay, so as I explained, linear regression is a uh, straight line plotting for the future data representation. Then I'm taking a mean absolute error method. Then I have taken a model, a linear model variable, which is going to take the trained data to in the model to perform further operation. Now I am taken the fit method for the x train and y train data, which are my previous trained data, that is going to be in the linear regression, and I'm going to find out the test prediction of the values. Linear model dot predict x test. So my data is going to test the x test and predict the result. So this is the result of the predicted test data, that is 4.08.